Pete Davidson is reportedly turning to pricey gifts in hopes of getting back into a former friend's good graces. The 31-year-old comedian purchased a $20,000 Cartier watch for his estranged pal Colin Jost, The Sun reported on Wednesday. Pete reportedly got the gift for Colin, 42, after his stint in rehab last summer, 2 years after the former pals bought a decommissioned Staten Island ferry. DailyMail.com has reached out to Davidson and Jost representatives for comment. Although one source said the gesture was meant to be an olive branch toward Colin after their rumored falling out, the details of why they allegedly ended their friendship are shrouded in mystery. A second source described the luxury watch as a positive gesture that Pete made to Colin just after he got out of rehab. Back in September, the publication reported that Pete and Colin had ended their 10-year friendship. Although it wasn't clear what came between them, the animosity was reportedly so bad that they were no longer speaking to each other. A source said Colin was so upset with Pete that he refused to be at 30 Rockefeller Plaza, where Saturday Night Live is shot, anytime the Bupkis star was also going to be there. Something big happened, and Colin is now refusing to be in the same building, let alone the same room as Pete, the insider said at the time. They added that the Weekend Update host doesn't want to be associated with Pete. It's unclear how often it might be an issue for them to run into each other, as Pete left SNL at the end of season 47 in 2022. Since then, he hosted once in October 2023. However, Pete did return for a cameo appearance on the November 2 episode last year, when was hosted by his good friend John Mulaney. At the farewell with the whole cast, Pete and Colin stood on opposite sides of the crowd, before moving toward each other after John thanked Pete for his guest appearance. They appeared to have an awkwardly cold handshake, compared to the ebullient greetings and hugs they gave other cast members, though they were seen chatting again before the end of the episode. Pete returned to SNL again last month for the show's 50th anniversary episode, which featured numerous former guests and cast members joining the current ensemble, but they didn't appear to share any scenes together. It's unclear if Pete and Colin's alleged feud has affected their joint purchase of a decommissioned Staten Island ferry. The two bought the ferry in 2022 for $208,000 as part of a group including the architect and developer Ron Castellano and comedy club owner Paul Italia. The owners have said they plan to renovate the ferry to add hotel rooms, restaurants and bars, but so far little progress has been made on the renovations front. At the fashion show, Colin called the decision absolutely the dumbest and least thought-through purchase I've ever made in my life, while speaking with People, which isn't out of character with the self-deprecating jokes he usually makes about buying the boat. He added that the owners expect to keep the boat docked as an entertainment and event space, but it could be ready to sail again within weeks if they desired. However, he wasn't sure if the investors wanted to both with hiring people to run the ferry. At the time their feud was first reported, a source tried to downplay its potential impact on their ferry purchase. They're both very busy and don't talk as much as they used to, the Business Insider said. People move on, they work on other things and other relationships, and they are just not as close to the people that they once worked with previously. Pete had previously joked that he was very stoned when he agreed to go in on buying the ferry, though Jost later denied that Pete was high at the time. "Is it worse that I was actually stone cold sober when we bought the ferry?" he joked on Instagram.